Hey guys, we're live. Out here in 70-degree weather in sunny California, and Coach is coming from Omaha, and I don't know what the weather there is. Probably the same as Iowa. So, okay, guys, we're here mainly to discuss the Rutgers preview a little bit. I did want to kind of recap the men and women's basketball games earlier this week. But I also want to say, in case you haven't heard, it was breaking news not that long ago, within the past half hour, 45 minutes probably, that Noah's luck has run out. The NCAA committee decided that the gambling punishment will be a loss of season eligibility and a loss of year eligibility, which takes Noah completely out of the picture. So they they played with our hearts, they played with our strings, and acted like they was only going to do a couple of game suspensions, and they did a 180 on everybody. And honestly, Ari, that's the way I feel today. um, so yeah, Noah got screwed over, and I kind of had a feeling it was going from Kirk's press conference yesterday. He wasn't very optimistic that things were going to go well on that, and so I think he already had an inclination of what was going to happen. But why does the NCAA tell Iowa you can practice him and put him back on the roster and then not let him be eligible? That's just
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, none of it makes sense. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Jared had this comment. Condolences for the sudden loss of Matt Urich, former player in Northwestern from 2004. He doesn't remember his playing days, but he did win a Super Bowl. The name sounds familiar, but I can't picture him in my head.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sad. I just found out just now that Vince Lombardi died at 57. I didn't realize how young he was.
Wow, he looked really old when he died.
Yeah, it was because he had colon cancer.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it says Michigan should be looked into deeper. The things that are going on with Michigan, I'm not sure of everything, but I know that Michigan is trying to take down three other schools with them. If they go down there, they're going down with three other schools, which is one of them. Which, surprise, surprise, is Ohio State. Okay, let's get together with our
Well, they're just saying that they gave them their signals. They're
oh, okay,
not going to take anybody down with them. They're
oh,
trying
okay,
to make an excuse as to why they did it.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
So I was
they gave us their signals. That's
okay.
what they're saying.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I watched the headlines at the gym this morning without the sound on the TV, because if you want the sound, you got to bring the earbuds and plug into the stuff. And so I was just reading what was being typed up and all the videos going on this morning on TV. Okay,
None of it makes sense. I mean, if they get by with this explanation, saying they didn't steal them, they were given to them. What
right?
doesn't even make sense?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, Jared, that changes that. We'll probably lose that number 2 ranking now for the Hawkeye wrestlers. So, um, but we still got that preview we got to get working on now that we know what's going on. We need to work on that in the next day or two. Okay. On the upside, Iowa win and basketball win. MS lose. MS. I can't even talk tonight. Michigan State loses and LSU. I don't think there's a Hawkeye fan who follows women basketball that's really sad about that.
It's been a really big deal. It's been hilarious to watch.
Right. And did you hear today that the referee review for that game came out and they didn't score so hot?
ISU wrestlers aren't. They're not going to be able to join either.
Oh, did they have some too?
I just got a message that went across my phone, and it said Iowa and Iowa State wrestlers will not be able to wrestle this year.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get going on the Rutgers deal. real quick, and so we can move on to other things too. Rutgers is 6-3 in fourth place in the East. I don't think anybody predicted that at the beginning of the year. They may or may not end up there. They are bowl eligible. They're only the second bowl eligible team Iowa's played this year because Wisconsin and
I don't think they've played a bowl eligible team yet.
well, Penn State is, but maybe they weren't bowl eligible at the time, but they will be. They were at the time, yeah. Okay, whatever. So that's only two teams that are bowl eligible currently. So I don't know if this is good for Iowa or bad for Iowa.
After this week, there's going to be a bunch of them that Iowa played that are bowl eligible.
Right.
The whole Big Ten West, except the bottom two, will be bowl eligible with their next win.
Correct. So, you are correct on that.
Yeah.
I looked at that and
they're all 5-4 or something like that. So
I'm a Nebraska fan this weekend. I want them to get their bowl eligibility before they meet us.
Okay. Who are they playing?
Oh, they are playing. I got it because it's one of our picks this week. They are playing Maryland at home.
Maryland needs that win in a big way.
They're not bowl eligible yet either.
No, they need one more win. Heck, Northwestern could end up being bowl eligible. There's still 3 games to go.
Yeah.
Northwestern needs 2 wins, but they have a favorable schedule to get their 2 wins, I think.
Right. Okay, this is perhaps one of the best Rutgers teams that I've ever seen so far, at least since joining the Big Ten. I believe this is. Have they had a bowl eligible team since they joined the Big Ten?
This is the best team since they joined the Big Ten. However, 2010, those years, 2008, 9, 10, they were extremely good. They had like Ray Rice, if you remember him.
I don't.
Running backs in the league are in the nation, and then went to the league and was a stud for Baltimore before he punched his girlfriend in an elevator. But no.
Oh God, why did they do that?
I don't know. It was all on camera at a casino. She said something to him, and he hit her at full force.
Okay.
So
I wanna bring these up real quick.
Rutgers has had good teams, but it's the same coach though. Shiano was their coach back then when they did that.
That's why they brought him back.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, all of you that said Maryland, we really want Nebraska to win. We don't want Nebraska to lose and come into, or us go into Nebraska on Black Friday and have them be 5-6 and needing that win for a bowl eligibility, because we've already got the deck stacked against us with the offense that we're carrying and the quarterback that we have. We don't need to have them have incentive on the other side. And if you remember last year, that coach did a wonderful job of convincing his players that was their bowl game and they were going to take Iowa down and ruin their party, in which they did. Okay. So anyway, I did notice that they had a total passing yards of 1,316. Their quarterback has passed for 1,263 yards at 49% clip with 5 interceptions and 8 TDs. So what do you think about that, Jason, on the quarterback stats? Does that make him a good quarterback, an average quarterback, or not?
Well, I mean, Winsett is a runner. They run a lot of quarterback power. He'll probably get 10 to 15 carries against Iowa. He's not a thrower. They will run the heck out of him. So, I mean, I don't see Iowa playing deep. I see Iowa just shutting down the run and making Winsett pass.
Okay.
He'll throw it off in the God's country. He's an awful passer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, with Iowa, the way they look at the quarterback, I mean, I think he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks this weekend, depending on their game plan, right? If they just don't let him throw the ball very much, if that works out, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, then they won't have to throw it.
Okay. Yeah. He is. And by the way, you are right about his running. He has rushed for 411 yards this year. and rushed for 7 TDs, and he carries 4.8 a carry.
They do a lot of quarterback power with him. They don't do much zone read. A lot of it is just quarterback power with the lead blocker.
So is that make it harder to defend, or just going to sell out to stop the run? And
I mean, it's harder to defend in my book because then everybody's got a hat on a hat, where the quarterback only has to make one guy miss, right?
Right.
If you have a quarterback who's handing the ball off, then you got two guys, because the guy that would normally take the quarterback won't have anybody blocking him. And then you got the one guy who would be taking on the quarterback. So you get one less blocker when the quarterback carries the ball.
Okay. Yeah. And their lead runner is a guy by the name of Kyle Monagal. And he's got 903 yards for 5.5 carries and 7 touchdowns. So he's about to go over the 1,000-yard mark. And let's hope he doesn't do it against the Hawkeyes.
Right. No, he's stud, and he'll get his carries. He was hurt for a game or so, maybe 2 games even. I think he's a true freshman, but they're going to give it to him a lot too.
Okay, So knowing that he's got 903 yards and he's missed a game or 2 is not good news in our book.
Well, I believe he's had 150 yards rushing each of the last 2 weeks. So even against Ohio State, he went over 150, I believe.
Okay. Kelvin, I got 2 receivers on here. I don't know which one you're talking about. Christian Dermel and Jack K. Jackson. Each of them have caught for over 300 yards.
Their tight end's their best pass catcher. Langer.
Okay. Yeah, and he wasn't even on the list when I went on the top of the list for so
he's their H-back, tight end, fullback. He'll get some carries, and he'll catch some balls.
Okay. All right. Jackson is what Kelvin is saying. Okay. So their leading tackler is Deion Jennings with 65, and they have 18 sacks as a team and 558 tackles as a team. I forgot to see what Iowa's totals were, but I know our guy. Refresh my memory. My mind's blogging out.
Higgins.
Yeah, it's over 100, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nobody's close to him.
Rutgers can play good defense, and they play the same style of offense that Iowa does as far as running the football, right? I don't mean like it's the same. It's the same philosophy as far as running the football, throwing it, not very often, sparingly. They want to work the clock, and they want to move the football on the ground. That's what Rutgers does. They use Iowa's philosophy, same thing. Okay. So the game, what channel is it on? Is it on
FS1, I think.
Uh-oh. See, if it wasn't for the 5-minute commercial breaks every time, this game could be over quickly because both teams will run the clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Caleb Johnson going to play this game. Kirk says yes.
Yeah, I think he's going to play and get 5 to 10 carries. Just depends.
Yeah. Also, according to what is going on with my brain today? I think I need to go get checked out at a hospital.
Like, who are you trying to
our special teams coordinator.
Oh, LeVar Woods.
Yeah, LeVar Woods. He said today in the Zoom meeting that Johnson will be back there doing his kickoffs and punt returns or whatever he does. Kickoffs, I think it is.
So Wetjen's not returning now?
I don't know. They might both be back there. Depending on who gets it on what side of the field.
Back with Max Hall or Max White.
Yeah.
Or so they're going to take Max White out and put in Caleb.
Yeah. That's what he's. He didn't say it that way. Just that Johnson will be back there, and he told Kirk that that the kid doesn't always know where he's going once he gets the ball, but he'll get where he's going quickly. And that's why they're using him. So he's still learning, I guess.
I don't understand why they would take out Wedgen's one of the best returners in the Big Ten.
Well, they're not going to take him out. You know they won't. So it's the other one then. Because there's usually 2 back there, right?
Well, right, but that would mean Caleb would be the lead blocker. That's my point. Like, I don't see Caleb being out there with Wedgen as a lead blocker.
Right.
Max White's out there to lead block. He doesn't ever return a kick unless it's kicked short on his side. So if they take Wedgen out, that's just going to be silly.
Does Rutgers run an I formation?
Not very often.
Okay. And the game's on BTN. I was incorrect.
Okay, Kelvin. Yeah, good. Those 5-minute commercial breaks on Fox just kill me.
Oh, yeah. I complimented Peacock the other day on the other game, and they started out going quickly. Then all of a sudden, they started having 5-minute commercial breaks. It's like, I guess you got to pay for all that money. You got to pay for it somewhere.
Well, yeah.
Jason, do Caleb Johnson transfer to just curious? Casey wants to know if you think that Caleb is out of here at the end of the year.
It's up in the air. I mean, he could stay. He could go. Like I expressed to everybody, I told everybody the beginning of the season from the Utah State game, he hates his role on the team. So he could go. He gained 15 pounds of muscle to be an every down back, but he's not a gap or power running back, right? He's more of a zone blocking running back. He runs very patiently, and he can't get started unless the hole's there right away, or unless the hole doesn't close before he gets through it.
Right.
He does not hit the gas the moment he gets the ball. He has to start doing that. I'm guessing they're working on that with him because I know they've talked to him about his running style. He's a great zone blocking running style running back because he uses his blocks well. I mean, he's the fastest of all of them. So if you just get him loose, he's gone. Right? But he's not a gap type running back or the power like Patterson and Williams are. I mean, from the Utah State game, remember, like he just was not happy because he would just get carries on first down. And then they would use Williams, and then Patterson was the third down back at the very beginning of the year before he got hurt.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, so this depends with all 3 of them back. Caleb's not going to get the carries that he wants, what he worked hard for in the offseason. So it's up in the air with everybody. I mean, I think he probably will, just because he's been very frustrated this year. So we'll see, though. Maybe they can re-recruit him, but they're going to have to use him. He's going to go somewhere and blow up. He's going to be a stud just because of how fast he is and patience. He just has to get with the right offense can work like a Wake Forest with the way how patient they are with their running backs, their scheme.
So if they can utilize him a little bit and kind of keep him happy a little bit these next 4 to 5 games, and I say 4 to 5 in case we're in the Big Ten championship game, maybe he stays then.
I mean, I don't know, because either way, Williams will be back, Patterson will be back, right? So it's going to be the same role next year. Either way, all those 2 running backs are going to be in their roles, unless the offensive coordinator comes in and flips up the scheme to where it'll be more geared towards Johnson, right?
Right.
So,
well, and don't forget we got those 2 excellent freshman running backs that are waiting in the wings who only played because of injuries, and
right.
They'll be red-shirted for sure.
If Paul Chris is the OC, Johnson might come back because he might feel he can do what the Wisconsin running backs did.
Right.
But other than that, I don't. I mean, I told you guys this from the beginning of the year. He does not like his role. He wants 20, 25 carries a game. That's why he bulked up.
Okay, so they could kind of push through those holes. Any confidence that Deacon Hill will improve his 10 to 15 pass completions from last game? Oh my God, that's like 66%. You don't think he can do better than that, do you?
If they use the same type of game plan, you guys got to remember the reason Deacon's completion percentage was so good was because of the game plan. Brian called his best game of the year. Like he completed 10 passes for 65 yards. And if he doesn't complete that 23 yarder, then he's in the 40s for passing yards. So it was just for 65 yards. I mean, it was brilliant the way they used Deacon because he's not accurate at all. So, but he seems to be pretty accurate on the bootlegs, right? He was hitting the tight ends pretty well. Like those were good passes. He just doesn't throw well downfield, which is strange with his cannon of an arm. But he's not accurate. When he feels like he has to throw it hard, he's not very accurate.
Yeah. Okay, Kerry wants to know who's actually favored, what the point spread is right now. Do you know?
For the Rutgers, it's
Yeah.
1.5. It started
started what?
At 5.5.
Okay.
All the money went to Rutgers in the very beginning.
Okay. All right. Casey says, Dean, we pretty much did win the West with Minnesota and Wisconsin losing last week. Yeah, we still got to win these 3 games. Any bowl predictions? Not yet. Got to see where Iowa ends up, and then we'll do our bowl predictions. Has ISU won their 6th game of the season yet?
No, they're at 5. They lost to Kansas State. No, Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Kansas last weekend. Okay.
Iowa might play Notre Dame in a bowl game this year. The one thing that's one team we've seemed to have never played in a bowl game is Notre Dame. And I'm wondering if that's because Iowa still takes their stance that they refuse to play Notre Dame. And that
I want USC and UCLA, one of those 2 schools, because of all the Iowa fans talking smack. That's the game. Okay. I want them to play in the Holiday Bowl or something. I don't care. Because
Holiday Bowl's not available this year to us, but the Vegas Bowl is.
Well, they're not going to be in the Vegas Bowl. They're going to have way too good of a record.
Right. I'm afraid it's going to be more like the Outback Bowl or whatever that is now called, or Citrus, yeah. Something like that. And then whatever's next down, depending on what they do with Penn State.
I shared what they're predicted by CBS Sports, who I like because they seem to be right on a lot of things. But they have Iowa playing Tennessee in the Citrus.
Okay. I don't know if I like that matchup. Okay, how cool would it be if ISU played Nebraska in a bowl game? I don't think we have a. Do we have a bowl alliance with the Big 12 on any game?
I don't know.
I don't think we do. I think it's either ACC, Pac-12, or Pac-2 now, or the SEC. I don't think we have anything with the Big 12.
I mean, it would be cool to see, though. It'd be hilarious.
It would be nice. That'd be old rivals again.
Once it goes down to the bottom of the barrel, a lot of times bowls don't pick from conferences.
Mm-hmm.
They pick whoever is bowl eligible that they can pick. So,
right,
if they can get enough.
Yeah, I understand that when teams run out of conference games and not enough teams bowl eligible. I'm trying to get this. Okay. Iowa, Notre Dame have played in the ancient past. Yes, it's been a while because it was a game that Iowa accused Notre Dame of cheating, or Iowa would have won the game. And they refused to play Notre Dame after that, but they used to play all the time. Okay, and the entire stadium fell into a sinkhole. I'm missing the first part of this. It took me a minute. Ari, you're funny. You're funny. You even had me going there for a second.
Ari, that is some good stuff.
Okay. The last time was canceled with JFK assassination.
I did not know that. That's good history. I just know there was a moment in the 2010s or maybe late 2000s where Iowa was trying to get Iowa State to drop 1 year to play Notre Dame.
Really?
But Iowa State wouldn't do it.
Hmm.
There was a you can Google probably and find the article on it. There was an Iowa beat writer that wrote about how cowardly Iowa State was. But they were beating Iowa around that time, I believe. So it might have been after the 2009 season, to be honest, that they tried to schedule just one game with Notre Dame, not like a home and a home, just one game.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe on a neutral site or something.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exact. I don't remember every detail of the article, but
yeah, see, both Iowa and Iowa State deserve more respect than we'll play you, but only we'll play you one time, but you have to come to our stadium.
right.
You know, they both deserve, if they're only going to do one contract, then you find a neutral place to play it.
Right, but they need Iowa State to back out of a couple of years if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
But Iowa State won't.
We're only contracted through 2025 to play
Right.
that game.
Right.
And so it'd be interesting to see with the new Big Ten schedules what Iowa decides to do in the future.
It's a big moneymaker for the state. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. Like, it's a huge moneymaker for the state.
How many teams in the Big Ten should be bowl eligible?
It'd be. I mean,
I think there might be as many as 10 when it's all said and done.
probably 8 or 9, but yeah.
Yeah, more realistic, yeah.
Because I mean,
there'll be at least 4 in the West by its time it's done.
Oh yeah, 4 of the 7, and I believe it. I mean, it could be 5 of the 7. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you got to remember too, the second last place team can still win out too.
Who's at the bottom of the West? Because Illinois is winning now. They're about 500.
Purdue.
That makes sense. Yeah,
and
Purdue.
Illinois is right above them.
Yeah, Illinois is 4 and 5. Northwestern is 4 and 5.
Right.
I mean, so the entire West except Purdue could be bowl eligible.
That is true. That is true.
Northwestern, I think, has a good schedule that I think they can do it. Win 2 of the next 3.
Which one?
Northwestern.
Okay, you had cut out right when you said that.
Oh.
Okay. The last time Iowa played Notre Dame was 1968, and we lost 51-28. Okay, so that goes away from my theory that we refused to play them because I think this was back in the 50s or the 40s that other game had occurred, the cheating game that they called. So yeah, I guess I don't remember that, but I would have been 12 years old, so
I wasn't thought of yet.
I was more than thought of.
My mom would have only have been 9 years old.
Yeah.
She was born in 59.
Wow. So I would like to see more non-conference games played at neutral stadiums and sites. I think so. That'd be good.
I mean, that's why like the SEC and Pac-12 do, where they just play a game in Texas, like in Arlington. They meet halfway, at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I wish the Big Ten would do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like have a big game where they don't play at either place.
So why don't we do that with the Ohio State-Michigan game? That's by far always been the biggest game in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but that's such a home field advantage type of game. I don't know if they want to give up let that happen.
Okay. All right. Eric Gold says Northwestern needs to beat Purdue and Illinois to make a bowl game. No way they beat Bucky at Madison this weekend.
I don't know. They could.
They really could. I got Wisconsin. I picked Wisconsin in that game, but it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, because they don't have a running back or a quarterback. Like they're just like Iowa without the great defense. They have a true freshman quarterback. Their running backs out, so they're down to a 2 freshman running back. And then they got a transfer running back because their top 2 running backs are out. One of them's out for the year, that Messiah Mushalin, whatever his name was. And then the big back is out for whenever he's like day to day or something, but he's not going to play this weekend.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly.
I bet you he plays against Minnesota.
He might, but so I would not count Northwestern is not that bad of a team like everybody wants them to be.
Mm-hmm. No, they're pretty solid.
I mean, that coach has Northwestern doing amazing things. Yeah. To be 4-5 at that team.
Has an interim coach ever won Coach of the Year before?
I don't know, but
I think it's a possibility. I really do.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad from going through all the crap that school went through and to do what they're doing right now.
Right.
And he just got there. This coach was brought in to run the offense.
Right. He didn't have any ways in the Northwestern culture. He knew nothing about it.
He knew nothing. Mm-hmm. And look what he's doing. I mean, I guess that just shows how good of a coach he really is.
And his defense isn't half bad. Because he's doing the defense too.
Are you sure? He's running the offense. I thought
he's running the defense.
What?
They mentioned that on the game.
Okay.
Or am I wrong?
No, you might be right. I might got him flipped.
Mm-hmm. Calvin's on here. He usually corrects me when I'm wrong because he's one of the smartest guys I know out there.
Yeah. But I know one of the side of the ball, like they brought him in to run one side of the ball, not be head coach.
I told you it didn't take Calvin long to correct me. Thanks, Calvin.
Actually, he was on your side. He was correcting me.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, Northwestern is 15, 28, and 2 all time at Madison. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I kind of figure that, but I'm just talking about this Wisconsin team. This one is struggling bad since they lost their quarterback against Iowa. Right. Now they lost their top 2 running backs and their starting quarterback. So
right. True story. Okay. Well, guys, let's go ahead and let's talk about the games that we're going to predict because I do want to get into basketball here before we run out of time. Okay. So let's give our Iowa predictions. Jason, you get to go first on all of these because there's no Paul.
Okay. What do you want me to answer? Like, what is your question?
I want you to answer who's going to win Iowa Rutgers and what's the score.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. I think Iowa wins 17-14.
Okay.
In that area.
And I think you're almost on the money here because Rutgers gives up an average of 17 points a game. And Iowa gives up an average of 14 points a game. There you go.
Well, the funny part there is most of the games this year I feel like have been in the 17-13, like most of the year in that area. It feels like I feel like I've picked 17 to 13 or whatever every week almost, and they're so close to that every week.
Right. So Paul picked Iowa with no score. I'm picking Iowa. I'm gonna go with 12-9. That's
Iowa
3.
Give up 13 points a game. They give up that many?
I'll have to look it back up, but I thought that's what I read. I could not find it when I went searching for it. If somebody out there can research it real quick for us and tell us.
It just doesn't feel like it's that high. I mean, you're probably right, but to me, yeah, Jared, the same thing. I think Jared and I were on the same page last week, I think, with the score.
Right. Rutgers scoring 2 touchdowns? That's why I have 3 field goals on mine, 12-9, because I feel like I feel like Rutgers can move the ball a little bit, but not into the end zone. So they're going to kick some field goals, and they've got a halfway decent field goal kicker. So Iowa offensive troubles are going to probably maybe get one touchdown and a couple field goals. Does that make sense?
I was not going to do a goal line stand against Rutgers with how good they can run their quarterback. So that's kind of how I'm thinking they probably get a couple scores, but I thought on the year, yeah, the closest game I remember with Rutgers was that famous Akram Wadley game where it was like zero offense on both sides of the play, but Wadley got loose for like a 30-yard touchdown run and almost stepped out of bounds. I want to say that was 2016 maybe. That was the closest Rutgers Iowa game, I believe.
Yeah. Calvin's got an interesting stat. This one scares me a little bit. Rutgers was inside the Ohio State 20-yard line 6 times. Whoa. Yep. That could be 6 field goals.
And to be completely honest, if the quarterback doesn't throw a pick 6 right before half, that's a game. Like legit, they were down inside the 10-yard line and the quarterback threw a pick 6. Otherwise, that would have been, I can't remember if Rutgers would have took the lead at half or if it would have like been really close. But they weren't down by a lot at all. And then they were inside the 10-yard line and Rutgers threw a pick 6. And that's why they should have the ball. Like they should have just kept running the ball.
Right. That's what we want to do. We want to force him to pass into our hands. Like maybe Cooper and X each pick off one, cut for touchdowns each. That would be nice. Okay, let's move on to our other games. Michigan at Penn State.
I'm going with Penn State.
Okay. Paul has Michigan, right? And I also took Michigan. It's at Penn State.
Okay.
Alabama at Kentucky. Both Paul and I took Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay. Utah at Washington.
Washington.
Okay, we both did as well. Okay, USC at Oregon.
Oregon.
Yep, we both did as well. So we're pretty much online today. Maryland at Nebraska.
Maryland.
And okay, we each took Nebraska. Indiana at Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah. Paul took Indiana. I took Illinois. Northwestern at Wisconsin. We both took Wisconsin.
I'll take Wisconsin as well. Even though I think Western has a real shot.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, Minnesota at Purdue.
Oh, Minnesota. I think they're going to put Purdue into the ground. I think Minnesota runs the ball 80% of the time this game, and they just keep pounding on them. Because that's what P.J. Fleck loves to do anyway. And Purdue's the perfect defense to do that against.
Okay, Washington, Nebraska, Whiskey. I missed Illinois. He's got Illinois too. Purdue is favored in this game. Interesting. And
I think it's a overreaction, Ari. I think Purdue being favored is a complete overreaction to what happened last week to Minnesota, and so that's why that's one of those games when I did gamble that I would 100% put money on the Gophers. Easy. That's like putting money on the under for Iowa.
Okay, let's talk about the men's game last night. Okay, I know a lot of people wanted to know about the scoring and everything, who was going to pick up the slack and everything. And if you go by the scrimmage games and the first real game last night, it's going to be Peyton Stanford. He scored over 20 in each of those games. He looks like he's going to be our guy. Cricky, though, last night come up with 18 points and 6 boards. So, that's not too bad. He's doing what I think we brought him in to do. But I'll tell you who impressed me last night was Owen Freeman.
Yeah.
14 points, 3 boards. He even had an assist.
I'm so excited for Brock Harding and Owen Freeman. Those two playing together was so fun. Brock Harding got some assists, and he got Owen Freeman open for dunks. I think Freeman had 3 or 4 dunks. So that freshman, this might be Fran's best freshman class in his.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%.
They are so fun to watch. I mean, it was against North Dakota, so but these kids are 18 years old. Yeah, they're pretty bad, but these kids were 18 years old and they were doing better than the starters.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I don't know. I like the way he did whole line changes, the 5 starters, and then he bring in the 5 freshmen and everything, or the 4 freshmen. And
you could tell they wanted, the freshmen wanted to play really bad, right? Mm-hmm. So they came in and but Fran did say that the freshmen were going too fast. Like everything was coming way too easy to them.
Right.
So they started turning it over, I think, or they had 1 turnover or something. Mm-hmm. Fran said then you had to just calm them down because everything was coming so easy for them. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they just started going way too fast, and Fran had to put the brakes on for a minute, which is odd for him to say, but that's what he said in his post game.
Right.
Pressure. Yes, Iowa gets 20 wins, and they go back to the tournament for the 5th time in a row, which I think is a Iowa record.
That might be. I think they said that. But yeah, with Harding had 6 points and 7 assists last night, so he's dishing. And our Bowen though, he didn't do too bad for a guy who he had 12 points with 5 assists last night, so he held his own.
Who?
Bowen.
Oh, Bowen. Yeah, Bowen can play defense too. I like that kid. I don't think I will be ranked this year. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't see them being ranked. I see them getting 20 wins and going to the tournament.
I will tell you, if they get through the month of November and December undefeated, they'll be ranked.
I don't think they will. Yeah. they got a big game with who is it? I can't remember. They do have a big game. Iowa women have Virginia Tech, I believe, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
They do. Friday. Yeah, and they're going to take on that 6'6" center, which I guess she's pretty dangerous. She can not only hang around the basket, but she can step back and shoot it too.
This year, yeah, that's what she worked on. Liz Hatley or Hikely is her name.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, Ari, shouldn't have fired Davis. Iowa fans wanted Davis out of here. Look what happened. This is what could happen to the football team. So,
yeah. Yeah, we got Creighton coming up next Tuesday night, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday night. Creighton's usually pretty solid, but I thought I heard somebody on the radio this morning when I was listening to KXNO radio say something that Creighton was going to be a bad team this year.
They're ranked 8th in the country.
So I don't know why he's saying they're going to be a bad team this year.
I mean, they may be. I don't know. Maybe he's got some inside info. But right now, for somebody who doesn't know for sure, they're ranked 8th. I don't think I'm going to beat them. But
we got a game with Oklahoma coming up too.
They may be able to beat Oklahoma. Those two teams are on the same level, but I don't see them beating Creighton. Yeah. So I don't, Ari, when I say they're going to get 20 wins, I don't think they're going to get in the top 25 though. But if they beat Creighton, they may sneak in for a few weeks.
Yeah, the Iowa women this week shot 22% from the 3-point. But that's because Caitlin's chucking up everything from the 3-point line, and Gabby threw up a bunch of threes and didn't make any.
Yeah, but they were just having fun, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they took it different than what the Iowa men took the game. I mean, Iowa, the women were up early and fast. I mean, and they were trying to get the ball down low. I mean, Creighton could be. I mean, that's kind of how I'm looking at it, Ari.
Iowa versus ISU winner, and I believe we play him in Ames. I'm going to go with, at this point, I'm going to say what I've heard so far, maybe ISU would probably be the winner of that game.
It depends on their freshmen. Iowa State has one heck of a freshman. I don't mean Omaha. Omaha looks like it's his first game, but maybe he's not picking up on the scheme very well yet. But they have another freshman. I can't pronounce the last name of the dude.
Omaha's back. I thought he got booted off the team or quit.
No, you're thinking of I'm thinking of Omaha Billu, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
You're
the guy that Iowa and Iowa State fought for?
No. You're thinking
years ago.
What was that kid's name? That's not Omaha, is it?
Okay. I'm probably thinking of the wrong kid then.
I think you are, because I believe Omaha was in high school last year.
Okay. No, and you're probably right. You're probably right.
You're thinking of the kid that was on the team last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These guys have been really good about helping us out, so they'll tell us.
Yeah, I mean, Creighton could be Final Four bound. I don't see Iowa beating Creighton. Mm-hmm. But if they do beat Creighton, there's a good chance they may be ranked, and it's going to make a lot of us, have those fuzzy feelings again.
Yeah, I bet.
What's the freshman's name for? I can't use my phone.
Are you on your phone right now?
The one kid that everybody was making, all Iowa fans are making fun of him. Yeah, there you go. Xavier, that's who you're talking about, Dean.
Last year?
Foster. Xavier Foster, right? That's who you're thinking of, Dean.
Okay.
Omaha was in high school last year. Yeah, Omaha, and he only scored 4 points against whoever they played, but Iowa fans were having fun with it. But it's his first game in college. Who knows?
Right. So, playing off of this, it says, I heard from a few fans that Michigan is going to be down this year.
I think so. They lost everybody.
The coach's son went to the NBA. Did he make an NBA roster?
2 of them.
Team or not?
I don't know if he made the roster. He got drafted.
I know he got drafted, but I just want to know if he got picked, because there's a lot of talking heads that said that he shouldn't even been on the floor with the team last year. That was the coach, playing his son because he could.
Iowa couldn't even guard him. What was he, like 7 for 8 from 3-point range against Iowa?
No. Yeah, I don't remember.
But anyway,
honestly, I didn't think he played that bad all year. I was just hearing some talking heads, and
I'm sure he's on the team.
Okay, with MSU early loss, is there another top Big Ten team? Purdue.
Yeah, it's all Purdue. I mean, I don't think the Big Ten, and another reason Iowa wins 20, unless these freshmen are really good, is because the Big Ten is just not that great. I don't see – there's Purdue and then everybody else. But Illinois is going to turn out to be pretty good. But MSU was supposed to be really good, but this early loss, and they didn't look like they could play defense at all against James Madison. I don't know. I don't see another team other than Purdue. I just think it's going to be another down year. Yeah, and Rutgers lost to Princeton. But Princeton's a pretty good team. They're a tournament team. But I did post about that game, though.
I got a question for anybody in the know out there. This game last night, Fran pretty much cleared the bench except for 2 players. Even Braun and McColby. Does anybody know why they didn't play?
I don't. I figured Bond would, because are you sure he didn't play?
He didn't play. He's not in the stats for anything. And neither is McColby. McColby? And if anybody should have played, he should have been, he should have come out at least played, because he's been in the system for almost 3 years or 3 or 4 years now. Is he that bad or is he hurt? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I thought Bond played, but yeah. Yep, Kelvin, you're exactly right. I was kind of getting to that when I said if they go this year, it'd be 5 straight years that they went to the tournament for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland is just like in football. They're sneaky good for a while, but then they just fade. Like Maryland was 5-0 this year in football, and now they're 5-4. So they just fade. And they do it in basketball too.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Maryland.
But yeah, they're probably pretty good in the Big Ten. Like I just don't see. I mean, right now I don't. I've kind of feel the worst about Fran did 5 once, Lute once. Oh, Lute did. Okay, I didn't realize Lute did it. I thought he had. Okay.
I don't know what's he saying. What are they saying? Oh, upper division. Oh,
Going.
I'm sorry. I don't know what we're talking about.
Kelvin was talking about being in the upper division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go back to comments.
Yeah, but I mean, it said Fran did 5 once.
Yeah, 5 and he the upper division 5.
Okay. 5. Okay, and Lute only got there once, and Tom never. Isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, come on, let's face it. He had a team that had not blown up against UNLV would have been a Final Four team.
I'm thinking he's saying Lute did it once as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how he's saying it.
But he's saying Tom Davis never. I don't know how that is possible.
Oh, I don't. Go through Tom's history of his up and down, which is why the Iowa fans were. Because Tom was a great coach. He just struggled with recruiting. But when he got the guys who could run his system, they were way up here.
Right.
Right. And then but there was times where he missed on his recruits, and then they were down in the middle or down a little bit.
But he had that team was like 30-5 or something.
Well, that's only 1 year, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that was all with Raveling's boys anyway.
Right, but we're talking about 5 in a row.
Okay. All right. He said Tom did 4 times, so that's better. That's better. Oh, Tom never did it 5 straight year. I got it. Okay, that's what you're saying. All right.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to explain to you. It's 5 in a row.
Well, because see, it doesn't make sense when I read everything together to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go back to Jared's comment.
Okay. What's that? Which one?
This one that we're reading right here.
Okay. Another Hawkeye karma like LSU woman losing the wrestler that beat Spencer Lee, Matt Ramos of Purdue, lost to a junior high schooler at the Clarion Open 4-1 in overtime. Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that except for the LSU women losing. I love it. That's karma.
That's karma. Especially since they come out and said now that the refereeing was not scored very well in that game. Okay. Hawks are currently 50% from the 3-point line, 90% free throw. Hopefully we can improve on those numbers each game this season. I think if you can get them to shoot 50% from the 3-point line all season, and maybe I'm biting into something here I shouldn't be biting.
That would be huge.
50 and 90. If we can hang on to 50 and 90.
Oh yeah, Iowa. I mean, they'd be at the top of the Big Ten if they hang on to those numbers.
Yeah. By the way, they were 100% last night, so I have to switch that up. 100% on the free throws.
They probably didn't shoot very many.
8 for 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just talk real briefly about the women, and then we can get out of here. Okay. Caitlin did her thing. Didn't get a triple double. That's all right, or double triple, however they call it.
Triple double.
Yeah. Okay. However, their field goal shooting was 54%, so not bad. That's where you want to be if you can. 3-point shooting, 21.4, but both Caitlin and Gabby probably attributed to that poor free throw shooting. I mean, 3-point shooting.
They were just putting up crap. Like it was just one of those games where they knew they would cruise.
Yeah.
They didn't take it as serious as the men did. The men took their game seriously.
Okay, I can answer this one, Jared. They're going to play Bucknell, I believe, Friday night, but it's on ESPN Plus. So I don't have that, so I won't get to watch that game. All right. They're playing at home too. I would have thought they wouldn't get any home games. Okay. So what was I looking? Oh, the free throw percentage was only 76. I think they need to get that up. Turnovers were 7 compared to 18. They had 6 steals. I must got something wrong here because I got 12 steals for Farley Dickinson. I must have flipped those around. But I think what I want to say is people are wondering about Susano, how she was going to be replaced, and I think the combination of Goodman and O'Grady, one got 19 points, one got 9. Between them, they had 8 boards. I think that's going to make up for. I think going by committee, they're doing both of them in and out because they both look like they were real comfortable taking those passes from Caitlin and just kind of laying them in. But a couple times they missed what I thought were a couple of bunnies that they really had.
Well, they did, and not Goodman. The other one missed quite a few bunnies, actually.
Yeah, O'Grady. Yeah, she had the 9 points.
Yeah, she missed a few bunnies.
Yeah. And as far as making up, I can't remember who else we lost besides Susano on the starting lineup. I can't remember her name, but
Monica Warnock.
Warnock, yeah, Monica. Stokey's going to handle that position just fine.
Anna Warnock. Gosh.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, Hannah Stokey is going to handle that position very nice. She had 22 points, 9 boards, so that little power forward / maybe playing a 5 once in a while for her, the 4-5. I think we've more than answered our questions, and I'm feeling really good about this season. If we can just get by West Virginia, right?
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. And somehow find a way to beat them. I feel good about the rest of the season. I feel good that we'll knock off the other 4 teams that we're ranked with in the Big Ten. Maybe not. Who knows? But no. But I feel good. I feel good about it. I just don't know how we're going to handle a 6'6" girl. That's probably at least 4 inches taller than anybody we've got.
Same way they handled South Carolina in the Final Four. Packed the lane.
Did they have a tall one too? Did they have a tall one?
South Carolina? That's how they win. They had a 6'6" Boston lady that's in the WNBA now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Her gal that was 6'8". Do you remember the Final Four game where they packed the box and made South Carolina shoot threes and they kept missing?
Yeah. What time is the Republican debate on? Jared's going to go watch it.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay, me either. By the way, did you know that yesterday was election day and I had no idea?
For California?
I have no idea. We didn't get any ballots in the mail. We got nothing. There's never been any advertisement out here. They didn't even bring it up on the news this morning, so we must have had nothing in California.
Yeah, I'm thinking every state have their own different. I mean, obviously it's not a presidential election, so was it? We didn't have an election here in Nebraska, I know. So
okay. I guess it just depends on when terms come up.
Yeah.
Okay, Hawks. Okay, let's go. By the way, I put this one up here. That one's my granddaughter.
Yeah, I know.
Hawks will finish 19-12 and miss the tournament this year, or make the tourney in losing the first round. Harry, they made it with 19 wins last year, and you're right. Were they one and done? Did they even win the
Yeah.
first game? I can't remember.
They were one and done both years with the Murrays.
Mm-hmm.
We got bit by the Richmond Spiders the year I thought we would actually do something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Politics are rigged. You couldn't pay me to vote. Politics is trash. National, local elections. One and done every year.
Yeah, not every
Okay.
year. They're 1 weekend and done. But Fran has won a few of the first round games, but then loses in the second round.
Right. We would love to. I mean, our last three teams, if we were ever going to get to the Sweet 16, those were the teams that were going to get us there.
Watch this be the one that does. Watch this with all these freshmen, like just as far as how it's just weird things happen. Watch this be the one that I say they're going to win their 20 and go to the tournament. Watch them actually do something special this year. That would be fun.
That would be fun. And after watching them in their preseason games and the last night's game, I will tell you that I'm becoming more of a believer in them because I'm coming into this season with no expectations. But from what I saw and the freshmen being able to step in right away and do some of the things they did, and yes, I granted it was in a scrimmage against easy teams. It was in a game against North Dakota, who's on the level of you and I, by the way. When we say, because you and I could beat us if they had to. And so I don't know if North Dakota is really bad or if we're really that good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out.
All right.
All righty.
Okay, let's get this over with. Let's say goodbye to everybody. We seem to have lost Terry a while ago. I don't know. She hasn't commented for a long time.
Yep, Kelvin, you're right. And Fran's catching up to that 15-year mark.
He's going to be, before this year is over, he's going to be the highest winning coach in history. I can't believe that that means he's been here longer than Tom Davis.
Yeah. What, Tom only coached
14 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Not even 14. More like 13 or something like that.
12. I think it's
he coached 12. Yeah, you're right. 86 to 98 or something like that.
Yeah, I think
you're right.
So
it's hard to believe because you feel like 12 years he'd been there forever.
And I believe Fran's on season 14. So
yeah, and it feels like Fran hasn't been here forever.
All righty.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Guys, we'll see you Sunday night after the Rutgers game. Bye.
Bye.